Y'all, it is 5 o'clock in the morning here. And for 2 mornings in a row, I have chased my sheep through the fence. Well, they went on the fence. They went through the fence. Back into the holler back there with the creek. All through the woods. And, yeah, sticks pulled my hair out of my head. I got smacked in the head. I went through so many cobwebs. It ain't even funny. But I want to tell y'all something. It reminded me. It reminded me of something. Did you know in Scripture, they said that when shepherds would have sheep that kept getting out, that they would break their leg? Well, they didn't actually break it. It's called a break leg. They didn't actually break it. It was called a broke leg. But in actuality, they would put like a weight or like a clog or something on their foot to keep them from straying off. Because, you know, for the most part, these sheep are herds. They like to stay together. But every now and then, you get that one that wants to stray and wander, and it's called a wayward sheep. Now, you get a wayward sheep, and they leave the rest of the herd, you in some trouble. So you have to break a leg. Put a clog on it. Keep them to where they learn who their shepherd is and how they take care of them and love them and feed them. And then they will know their name, right? As well as know their shepherd. After you go trudging through them woods and you fall down, you're chasing after them, screaming for them. Actually, not screaming for them, but calling them with your call, and they're not recognizing it. It gets pretty frustrating. I have those that know my voice. They all know my voice. But they're wayward. They're selfish and want to go their own way. They don't want to obey the rules of my house. I put a perimeter up. I have good water. It reminded me of Yahweh's people. You know, we all know his voice. Okay? Because Scripture tells us that in all, around all, above all, you know, within all. I'll put the verse up there because I can't remember it right now. So we know that everybody holds a portion. To him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or think, according to the faith that works within you. So we all have a measure. We all know his voice to a degree. But you know what? Even though they knew my voice, they still went the wrong way. I have taken care of them since they were all babies. I've been a shepherdess for a long time. And them wayward sheep, you get one and they all follow him. No matter what my voice is saying, no matter all my calls, all my shakes. I had food in the bucket at one point. The word tells us one thing. That is Yah's voice. Okay? And the explanation that a lot of people have gotten about Yah's word ain't correct. You don't have to do nothing. Just love him. Love your neighbor. Did you know love is an action word? Did you know love is not just a feeling, it is an action word? You are supposed to show forth your love. And if you're telling me that you're showing forth your love, tell me how you're showing it. What is your action? Are you spreading the gospel? I mean, because Abba has invested in you. His son died for you. That's his investment. He got you back. You can be with him. So what you doing for the kingdom? See, if you don't think that you're supposed to be out there spreading the gospel, snatching a soul from hell, you're wrong. You're not doing anything for the kingdom. You're being selfish. You're being a wayward sheep. He has given us a perimeter within his word that we are supposed to obey. And you are letting these wayward sheep lead you astray tell you that you don't have to do this and you don't have to do that, and that give you their own explanation of Yahweh's word. You're supposed to be digging in that word yourself. I tell you what, I am about sick and tired of wayward sheep in my own flock. I can imagine how frustrated Abba is with his. He's got wayward sheep telling his flock to go this and that way, and you guys are just going aimlessly back and forth, while Abba's flock is in the field enjoying greener pastures. We're seeing that the word come alive. You're only going so far. Keep the commandments of God. He's given you a perimeter. Let him define for you what the word means. Throw away everything that you have learned from man and look at it with fresh new eyes. Ask for eyes to see, ears to hear, and heart to receive his word. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to see things differently. Because Yahweh's Spirit leads, and you see things you've never seen before. And you have a deep understanding. And you cling to his word. See, Yeshua said, man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the Father's mouth. Do you know that bread he was talking about? That was the flesh that he gave. You cannot live on the salvation alone, people. You have to be obedient to every word. He didn't say half the words. He didn't say to the New Testament. He didn't say, well, what I'm about to do. He said for every word that came out of the Father's mouth. If you're not doing that, you best line up. Because otherwise, you're just going to be like them sheep running back and forth following a wayward sheep. When your shepherd's sitting there going, hello, got the feed over here, honey. Got your provision over here, honey. You're only going so far. That right there is going to get you in trouble. You are walking around in demon territory. Walking around in bad territory. Walking around in the enemy's camp. Come back home. Get back in your field. Read the word for yourself. Stop living off his salvation. That's milk. Move up to some meat. I love y'all. I say this in love and from a frustrated shepherdess.